Well, morning, fellow grievers and fellow zombies out there, emotionally deprived and sleep deprived. This is your zombie out here, the Weaver John C. doing the diary of the griever named John Weaver. That'd be me. It's January 13th, 2023. It's about 2:27 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I had to get up, take a dog out, but also deal with inquiries on social media. Another day to get through. The comments and chats are about the same thing. Different people, different names with the same thing, the same pain. Some of them are just getting through it, and others are still going through the anniversaries. They'll have different stories, they'll have different ways of getting through the grieving, get through the pain, how the whole thing started for them, how the nightmare began for them. But it's still the same. It's still the same pain that shouts. Pay it. No, that's my other laptop working here. So, the main monster and this little monster. That's all I got. It's never easy dealing with this. It's never easy talking to people about grieving in person. In the chats, we can talk about it, we can text about it, we can use voice to text options to express ourselves, and that's what I do. My fingers are not so fast and nimble as they used to be. I'm almost doing the poking and sometimes just with one finger. If my fingers are working, and so is my brain, I can actually use a full-size keyboard and actually type. Other than that, voice to text, as long as the voice still works. And if that doesn't work, then I really have to do the one touch on each button. We all have to find ways to express our pain, our sorrow. Some of us are actually feeling shame about it because grieving is so personal and private, and how can anybody ever relate to what we're dealing with? How can anybody understand what a griever goes through? I call myself a griever because I am a griever. I have been grieving for a long time. I just never even realized it until I lost my mother, lost another loved pet. I lost a best friend and surrogate mother. I lost my other best friend, my big brother. And all these take a toll on a person. They all take a toll on how we're dealing with, how we're shaping ourselves, and how we're molding ourselves into this thing we don't even recognize anymore. We try to talk to people. We try to talk to people outside, even for the ones that are close. And here's the thing, when we're part of large or small family members, and when we actually hear another family member going through it but shutting themselves off, we also want to go to that person to try to give comfort to them if we can, to give empathy, to tell them that they're not alone. And the problem is we each have to deal with our grieving in our own way, that sometimes we have to be private individuals. It's hard to sell to open up someone else's cage and try to give someone comfort. There's a lot of things we miss in our life. Other people want us to go forward, and sometimes life gives us no options but to go forward. We have to keep charging. We have to keep doing things that we don't like to do. We have to keep smiling to people when we don't want to. They want us to be more productive, but we can't be that productive like we used to be. But we have to be because we're given so much time to grieve, to mourn. It's actually to take care of the body, and then you have to get back to take care of everything else, because if you don't, then what are you there for? Get out of here. You no longer have a job. You have to be a robot at this point, okay? We have production, we have numbers, we have things we have to do, we have quotas, we have. But you're not doing your job. Get out of here, you lazy bum. I don't want you being emotional. I don't want you being crying all over the damn clients at this point over here. You're looking to sap up so much of that negativity. You want to sack up all that sympathy. Screw the sympathy. You're not productive. Get out of here. How many times have I heard that from other people? It's easy enough to try to shut yourself off. It's easy enough to try to turn yourself into a robot. At least that's what they keep telling me for a long time. Now we discovered, through months and months of trials and errors and maybe some years of data that back it up, that grieving and mourning is normal. Oh my God, they're normal. You have to emote. You have to cry. You have to break down and be worthless. You're not productive anymore. Some businesses are slow to go through this route. They really don't understand mental health, and everybody these days is still trying to understand the damn shit. Well, it's almost been about how many centuries have we been doing this damn thing? Let you know on reality check right now. I'm unemployed. I'm disabled. I got physically and mentally disabled. Damn near got killed by a damn tire, and the company damn near took me out, and other people, well, they had their parts to play in the whole damn misery. And because of that, I'm screwed up, so I can't go back, and I got these mental hiccups. I got to deal with life on its own terms, as in bug wars. Little tiny bugs to big fucking roaches that I got to deal with. Dropping your hair from the roof. Covered areas, the walkways, the crevices around here, hiding places. They don't like light. And they'll drop at a moment's notice. Make my life miserable as hell. I have to sleep with these bastards. Not the easiest damn thing in the world to deal, is it? Bug wars. But this is a reality check I have to deal with. Besides grieving and mourning, and dealing with an upcoming anniversary of my mother's passing, it'll be 10 years. 10 years, and it still feels like it's yesterday. My brother's felt like it was yesterday, and it's about 5 years coming up in September. So this hasn't been an easy year for me to deal with. You gotta keep talking about it and not ignoring it. A lot of people who look at the long term and think, you know, it's been so long. Why are you feeling this? Why are you being this way? Here's the caption for you. It is what it is. I've had people grieving for decades. They try to make a living. They try to eke out a survivability. They try to eke out life to live. All they'll try to find someone else to marry. They cover up the pain, substitute it for one person. In reality, they're still grieving. We can find all these damn physical things to cover it up with. We can deny ourselves the pain by chemically diluting ourselves with it. We can gorge our bodies with food, medical conditions. But still, gorging ourselves with food, and we still can't fill the hole. We can fill our surroundings with a lot of trappings. Doesn't help much, does it? We can do all the physical things necessary or unnecessary to get us going through these things. We can listen to all the tapes, listen to everyone else's advice, with or without the hand sticking out saying, Pay me, please, because I'm giving you this advice. One would even ask me, why am I doing this? Why am I talking like this? I get irritated at times when people are asking for money just to listen to their sage advice. I'm only sharing my own personal experience, strength, if there's any, and if there's actually any hope left. That too, without a dime, without a penny, without something coming my way, except to say, look, I know the pain because I'm going through my own damn pain right now. I have denied myself a long time as a kid. I had to be strong. Yet I'm the poor schmuck that went through death 3 times. And I came back a changed person. I wanted to stay in heaven, but I wasn't allowed because I had to live. I had to live for whatever reasons, for whoever's reasons there were. Dave pleaded, Ma pleaded, God heard, and I'm still here. I'm going to be turning 57 this year. And it's been 53 years. 53 years. It wasn't a scuffle. It was, oh, maybe it was, I don't know. But it's an amazement that it's been that long. 53 years of living, of existing, of memories, sometimes trapped and others are still there, of what I went through, of the people I cared about, people I made friends with, people I made families with, extended families, people that I loved, and other people I resented the living crap out of. Experiences I've gone through. Too many relatives and friends and pets. And most of the time I had to shut myself off. I had to close myself off from everybody. I couldn't show them who the real me was, except maybe some geeky stuff, nerdy stuff. Tell people I'm intelligent. My ass. I'm not all that intelligent. I'm not Mensa. I'm just me. That's all I deal with is just me. Somewhat of an imagination. Maybe just an ordinary schmuck. But all I know, this ordinary schmuck had lived a life. And is still surviving a life day by day by day. Some people may call it living. I call it survival. After I've had so many people break my heart, after trying to keep the pain back, try to keep that wall, it's gone. Now when I get triggered, I emote. I cry. I plead to the universe. Forgive me. I guess I'm saying this because maybe it is survivor's guilt. Hear me out. Hear me out. Why are we so apologetic, or why am I so apologetic? Because I survived my family. I survived everybody that I cared about. There's other people out there I do care about, but they just don't communicate as much or as often as I'd like. They have their own lives to live. They have their own pain to deal with, but they don't want to talk to me or share about it. And that's what pisses me off. We're supposed to be communicative beings. We're supposed to be sharing our thoughts, our ideas, our feelings. We're supposed to be sharing, period. But when we are locked into our own worlds and our own heads and our own universe and our own pain, our own misery, we're not that open. We're closed in shells. We don't share with anybody. Some things we do have to keep private. But the pain that we're sharing, that we want to share, that we want to get rid of, we can't because we're holding on to it too tight because it feels like it's the only thing left we have of that loved one is the pain. I do it all the time. I've done it all my life. It's not the easiest damn thing to talk about. It never is. I can't even talk to another human being about this damn shit on an intimacy level. Or I'm trying to be intimate like I'm trying to be on these recordings left and right. How am I dealing with it on a day-by-day basis? How am I trying to live? How am I trying to survive? How am I trying to function? Hell, there's been days, there's been weeks I haven't been functioning properly. And I know, and I can tell that I haven't been. It's hard as hell to talk to another person about this damn thing. It's hard as hell to open myself up. And I'm not apologizing for any salty language here. This is me. This is me trying to be real at this point over here. Hell, when David and Ma were still alive, I was a foul-mouthed beast. Intelligent, but still foul-mouthed. And sometimes I use it for expressive purposes. Even when they're gone. Because it still hurts like shit. It's the hardest fucking thing for me to deal with. It's the grief and the pain and dealing with the anniversaries. It's bad enough when their birthdays come up that I have to barely remember what their birthdays were. And try to celebrate that. I got my mother's death anniversary coming up. And it extends from February 1st all the way through the 19th of February. I mean, they got her body alive after a half hour fighting with God on this one, trying to retain her spirit in her shell, and she had to suffer 19 days in a damn hospital with a tube stuck in her throat. Well, they discovered that, she had signed paperwork earlier on, and both Dave and I forgot about it. The advanced medical directive. Keep the damn tube out of her damn mouth. She should have just died at the place where she didn't. But she didn't. She didn't. And it hurt like hell. It must have hurt her a great deal. 19 days of suffering. But her health was going up, probably because her spirit was already outside the damn body, watching it deteriorate as my brother and I are struggling like crazy what the hell to do. Fighting in an eviction situation. Trying to find a place to live. Trying to fight the feelings that we had inside. And they were hard. We're losing our matriarch. We're losing our mother. I was losing the only thing left, the only woman I ever loved in my life was my mother. I never had any relationships. I never knew what a relationship was. I had friends that were girls growing up in high school, but never had relationships. How's that for intimacy? No, I'm not looking for any at this point. I'm dying solo at this point. It sucks. Maybe I should have a long time ago, and I kicked myself on that damn crap. But the only woman I ever loved was my mother. How's that for intimacy? I worked my ass off. I screwed up in college 2 years. My mother forced me to work at home or get the hell out, be homeless. I was afraid of being homeless as a young kid, so screw it. I went out and worked my ass off. And over 30 plus years, I tried to make her proud. It would have been better if I actually had gone through a damn college and actually graduated and did something more with my life, and I didn't. I just worked. I kept the bills paid. You did what you had to do to survive in the family. That's what I did. I deal with a reality check now. Damn bug war. But this is reality. This, if you happen to see things crawling around, you're not imagining things. This is bug war. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Give it about another 13 or 14 minutes, approximate. Pisses me off, though. Bug war. But besides that, living the life I did, I made the choices, and sometimes choices were made that I had no control over. But I still accept the responsibility to be transparent about it, be accountable to it. Yeah, I miss my mother, and I miss my big brother. They're the most important, special, and precious people of my life. Extended families I had, and some of the genetic bloodline, yeah, they were, still are. But nothing as close as my brother and my mother. And that's who I've been grieving for a hell of a long while this past decade. They'd seen me at my birth, and I'd seen them at their death. And I took care of them before they passed. And it was never an easy thing for me to do. Making decisions left and right for Dave being his caregiver. Dave had to be Ma's caregiver and made all the decisions and made them with me, and we had to be consensus. But he still had to be the primary. He was the eldest. I tried to live. I tried to live for them. I've been going to college for about several years still. Right after Ma's death, maybe about 1 year, about a year and a half. Went to college. Started off. And continued. David's death kicked in. COVID kicked in. Things had to be changed around a little bit. I tried to go back to college again, physically, and then found out it was hard as hell. But I completed a semester and then went insane. Over the summer, went insane with grief and mourning. I should have been getting psychological help, and I didn't. Then I was supposed to go back, and I didn't. Because the grieving and the pain and the other options happened that I couldn't put myself in that jeopardy again. So now I got to wait for another term to come in and pray to God that I can actually qualify to get back in there to complete the educational process. I don't care if I end up with an AA degree, and that's about it. I wasn't exactly shooting for PhDs at my age. But just an AA degree is fine. That's enough. I spent enough time in a junior college anyway. I wasn't ready for the damn big leagues. Screw that noise. I'm just dealing with what it is right now. How I'm feeling about it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy dealing with life on life's terms. Some days I wake up and I'm not thinking about it. I'm not dealing with the grieving pages. I'm not triggered as much. And yet something will happen and then I break. I go nuts. I tell myself, I'm trying to deal. I'm trying to cope. What else is going wrong with me? What else is going wrong with me at this point over here is I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it inside. I feel like I am losing it. That I have lost it. My dog is groaning. She's having nightmares again. She's dealing. She remembers my family. And it hurts her. Even dogs can grieve. Dogs can remember. They know. And she has just me to deal with. And I have her. But everybody else, It's not that easy talking with friends and family about this. It never is. So I'll just have to tell you folks that this is what it is to be. This is what we have to do. And this is what I have to do. I ain't liking it, but I